Palestinians fear for their lives as Israeli attacks force thousands to cram into the few designated so-called safe zones left in Gaza. The Israeli army is accused of posting a staged video purporting to show the surrender of Hamas fighters. The price paid by Palestinians in the occupied West Bank who've been banned from working in Israel. Russia's foreign minister has criticized Israel's bombardment of Gaza, saying it amounts to collective punishment of the Palestinian people. That's as Israel's prime minister rejects calls for a ceasefire, insisting the war will continue with greater force. Israeli forces are driving further south into the Strip, leaving little room for millions seeking shelter. There have been repeated airstrikes and heavy fighting in Khan Yunus. Well, displaced Palestinians from the north, the center and the south have been told by Israel to move to a small plot of coastal land that has no reliable sources of water, food or medicine. The UN says what Israel calls a safe zone is now experiencing extreme overcrowding. Well, Russia's foreign minister Sergey Lavrov has called for international monitoring on the ground in Gaza. Moscow has repeatedly blamed the war on the failure of US diplomacy.
We strongly condemned the terrorist attack against Israel on the 7th of October, like we condemn any terrorist attack. At the same time, we do not believe it's acceptable to use this event for collective punishment of the millions of Palestinian people with indiscriminate shelling of the civilian quarters.
Our correspondent Hashim Al-Bada has more from the Doha Forum.
I've been talking to senior officials attending the Doha Forum, and let me just give you some highlights of basically what they had to say. Qatar's Foreign Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman Al Thani critical of the international organization, saying that they have failed to deliver on promises made to bring an end to the war, and that Qatar remains committed to continuing its efforts to negotiate an extension of the ceasefire. Palestinian Prime Minister told Al Jazeera that the US veto is counterproductive. It will just give pretext to the Israelis to continue what he described mass destruction of Gaza, and that Hamas ultimately should stand united with the Palestinian authority to move forward. It was quite interesting during the Doha Forum when journalists were asking Qatar's foreign minister or the Jordanian foreign minister or any Arab leader on what's next for Gaza. They all were united in saying that we should not be the ones to decide what's good for the Palestinians. This is going to be a decision made by the Palestinians, all insisting that there needs to be a Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital, and that what happens next should be decided by Palestinians in free elections. This is what the Jordanian Foreign Minister Ayman al-Safadi had to say.